Good evening and welcome to the 32nd Annual Distinguished Alumni Awards for SMU Dedman School of Law. My name is Jennifer Collins, and I am so proud to be the dean of this amazing law school. Tonight we have gathered to celebrate and honor some of our most extraordinary graduates for their professional accomplishments. Thank you so much for joining us. We will begin our awards program during the dessert course. Please enjoy your dinner. What an extraordinary heritage of alumni we are here to celebrate tonight. In our 94 years, close to 17,000 students have walked through our doors, so many of whom have gone on to greatness. We are working hard to continue our tradition of excellence by producing lawyers ready to take on the legal challenges of the future. For example, they're working in our 10 clinics, experience that leads students to become compassionate counselors and problem solvers in private practice. Our students are receiving intensive training in business and leadership through innovative programs like our Corporate Counsel Externship and our new Robert B. Rowling Center for Business Law and Leadership, preparing them to walk in the footsteps of so many of our alumni business leaders who range from general counsels to CEOs to entrepreneurs. Our Board of Advocates program has already claimed 2 national championships this year. Yay to the Board of Advocates. I know some of them are in the room. And they are laying the foundation for our students to become skilled courtroom advocates, trial litigators, like so many of our alumni who are lions of the bar. The Haynes and Boone Inn of Court program is instilling professionalism in our students, some of whom will go on to champion justice and fairness from the bench, like our over 100 alumni who are currently serving as judges in the state of Texas. And our public service program, where students give back at least 30 hours of their time to help those most in need of legal assistance, is instilling a sense of servant leadership in our students, leading some to join the ranks of our alumni who dedicate their practice to nonprofit or government service or improving the lives of others. Service to the profession and the community are hallmarks of SMU Law alumni, and we are so proud to celebrate 5 of our very finest tonight who have devoted their practices and their careers to these ideals. To begin, SMU Dedman School of Law is honored to present Krista Brown Sanford with the 2019 Emerging Leader Award.
Law firm leader, intellectual property scholar, and philanthropist, Krista Brown Sanford's star is already rising high in the legal profession and in the community. A Dallas native, Krista was born to Jacqueline and Guy Brown, and she graduated from First Baptist Academy before attending Rice University. In 2001, Krista graduated on the President's Honor Roll with a BS in Electrical Engineering and entered the SMU Dedman School of Law. At SMU, Krista was a leader in the SMU Law Review Association, the Black Law Students Association, and the Barristers Service Organization, and she graduated Order of the Coif in 2004. After graduation, Krista joined the international law firm of Baker Botts, where she rose in the ranks to become the first African-American associate to be promoted to partner in the Dallas office, and eventually the firm-wide deputy chair of the Intellectual Property Department. Day to day, Krista draws upon her engineering degree from Rice and her law degree from SMU to provide skilled guidance on patent procurement, portfolio development, patent litigation, and patent licensing, particularly involving cutting-edge and emerging technologies. She also developed the IP department's talent management program. Sanford has been recognized as a most influential black lawyer by Savoy magazine, a minority business leader by the Dallas Business Journal, a top woman lawyer by the Texas Diversity Council, a next-generation lawyer by the Legal 500 US, as one of 40 under 40 by the Dallas Business Journal, and a young leader by the Dallas Women's Foundation. She serves her community on the boards of the Dallas Children's Theater, First Baptist Academy, and New Friends, New Life, and is a member of the Junior League of Dallas. She is a founding officer of the Village Giving Circle at Texas Women's Foundation, which honors, sustains, and expands the legacy of African American women's philanthropy by funding organizations and initiatives that benefit African American women, men, and children in North Texas. Sanford serves her alma mater on the Dedman Law School Emerging Leader Board and as an adjunct professor at the law school, teaching patent prosecution. Despite all of Sanford's successes, her greatest achievement is her family. She married Kettrick Sanford at SMU's Perkins Chapel, and they have 3 children, Jackson, Kaysen, and Landry. For her leadership in the profession and community, SMU Dedman School of Law is proud to recognize Krista Brown Sanford with the 2019 Distinguished Emerging Leader Award.
When I was 12 years old, I told my mom that I wanted to be a lawyer. Now, she didn't let it in there. She said, "Krista, you need to be a patent attorney." And I did what most kids should do, obey my mom. And so kids, always obey your mother. So at 12, I started on my path to get to where I am today. While every twist and turn has had challenges, I usually hear my dad in my head reminding me that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I think that all of whatever I accomplish points to this fact. Now, after my first semester of law school, I did the typical thing that law students do. I sent my resume to every law firm in town. And I got a call from this IP partner at Baker Botts, and he said, "You know what? I've never seen a resume with electrical engineering from Rice, has experience drafting patent applications, and worked for a cheerleading company. Who are you?" And in December of 2001, I met Bart Showalter, and he has been an incredible teacher, mentor, champion, and friend for the last 18 years. So thank you, Bart. Now, of course, those of us in law know how grueling our work can be and the importance of having a compelling why to maintain our passion. My driving reason to continue to practice is to make an impact in this legal profession while improving the representation of women and minority attorneys. After all, the likelihood of at least 2 of my 3 kids going to law school and becoming attorneys is pretty high, especially if they listen to their mother. So we'll see. I would not be able to do all that I have done in my career without the support of so many people. But I want to tell you about one person in particular. In 1997, I met this young man. He played football at the University of Houston, and let me tell you guys, he was like a celebrity on campus. And then I decided to come to SMU for law school in Dallas, and I wanted to start my legal career here. And he left everything in Houston and moved to Dallas. He lived with my parents for 6 months before our wedding, nonetheless. And almost after 16 years of marriage and 3 kids later, he continues to put me first and support me unconditionally. So thank you, Kettrick, for being my best friend. My best friend, my life partner, and my rock. In a sea of people, my eyes will always search for you. Thank you. Thank you.
Joseph William Foran is a dedicated family man, founder of 2 oil and gas companies and a midstream business. He is a devoted philanthropist, and as a young entrepreneur from Amarillo, Texas, Foran has grown the Matador brand to be one of the most successful energy enterprises in the United States. With the support of family, friends, fellow teammates, and handball partners, Foran founded Matador One in 1983 with an investment of $270,000 and sold it in 2003 for $388 million. After the sale of the first Matador on Friday, Foran founded Matador Two on the following Monday with $6 million. Matador Two, better known as Matador Resources Company, is one of the fastest growing public companies in the U.S. today. Matador is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and is one of the larger producers in the Permian Basin, with 300 employees and daily production of over 60,000 barrels of oil or gas equivalent. Working cooperatively with his board, staff, and shareholders, Foran has challenged his colleagues and partners to devise novel approaches to developing unconventional reservoirs that would earn for Matador shareholders an enterprise value of $3 billion and an industry reputation for innovation. While building Matador and raising his family, Foran started various programs to help young people with jobs, educational opportunities, and athletic scholarships, paying forward the benefits of the scholarship, help, and encouragement he has received along the way. These educational programs have grown over the past 32 years to include 8 different high schools in small towns in rural Texas, and endowed scholarships and professorships at 4 different universities. Several thousand scholarships have been awarded, and several of these scholars are here with us tonight. Foran and his wife Nancy have also supported faith-based organizations and various military organizations, especially volunteer work with the Medal of Honor Foundation and numerous individual Medal of Honor recipients. Foran is the son of William and Roburn Foran, born the middle child of 5 children at Camp Walters in Mineral Wells, Texas, where his dad, a veteran of World War II and Korea, was posted. Foran received his bachelor's degree in accounting with highest honors from the University of Kentucky in 1974, and his JD from Dedman School of Law in 1977, where he was a Hatton W. Sumner's Scholar and founder of the Sumner's Sentinel, the newsletter of the Sumner's Program. He was also leading articles editor for the Southwestern Law Journal and a member of Phi Delta Phi. One reason for selecting SMU Law was the Hatton W. Sumner's Program, where he met the longtime chairman of the foundation, Jimmy Thompson, and ultimately worked for him as vice president and general counsel of J. Cleo Thompson and J. Cleo Thompson Jr. oil producers in Dallas. Foran is an avid outdoorsman who loves reading, fishing, hunting, ranching, and early Texas and Southwestern art. He is married to Nancy, and they are the proud parents of 5 children, Laura, Julia, Shelley, Mary, and Bill, who is currently serving our country in Afghanistan. For his business leadership and valuable contributions to the community, SMU Dedman School of Law is proud to honor Joseph William Foran with the 2019 Distinguished Alumni Award for Corporate Service.
Thank you, Dean Collins, and thank you, Selection Committee, for this incredible, remarkable honor. It's been quite a journey. I sometimes wonder how I got here. I haven't collected any legal fees, and I have not tried a legal case in over 40 years. As many of you know, my journey began in Amarillo, Texas. Certainly I would not be here without the help of a large number of you. Family, friends, teammates, mentors. Some are here to support me, and probably some are here to fact check my remarks. But I've been assured that there would be no opportunities for a recount or a rebuttal. Therefore, in honor of my friends and family, I offer 2 stories to give color to this remarkable journey. First, I owe a special thanks to Dorothy Thompson and her late husband, Jimmy, who not only selected me as a Sumner Scholar, making it possible for me to go to SMU Law School, but also who gave me my first job in the oil and gas business. Before that, my oil field experience was limited to digging ditches in multiple summers for a pipeline company in the Amarillo area. I was proud of my work as a ditch digger, one of the few jobs where you get to start at the top. I mean, they were good ditches. In fact, only a couple of days before law school began, I was still digging ditches in Amarillo. So it was quite a change for me to load everything I owned in the back seat of my '71 Oldsmobile Cutlass to come to Dallas and find myself 2 days later in Professor Kogan's class trying to explain the nuances of jurisdiction to my classmates. At that point, I barely knew how to say forum non-convenience, as well as to try to explain the difference between in rem and in personam jurisdiction. I made a desperate effort at explaining, as Larry Wolfish and Buzz Rochelle would attest. As the theme music to Jaws played in my head, Professor Kogan asked me what jurisdiction meant. I did not know. Larry Wolfish, sitting next to me, tried to help and whispered, "Power." I responded to Professor Kogan by saying, "Power." The Jaws music returned to my head. And Professor Kogan then said, "Well, Mr. Foran, just what kind of power?" And I responded, "Power." Like a big, powerful locomotive. Obviously, I did not pass the pop quiz that day. No one else in that class, still living today, could ever imagine that I'd be here at this very moment receiving this distinguished graduate award. Isn't life wonderful? Other challenges in law school awaited me: Texas trial and appellate procedure, the rule against perpetuities, and everyone's favorite, the rule in Shelley's case, as announced in 1366 and amended in 1581. Fortunately, we had great professors to explain these mysteries, like Bill Flitty, A.J. Thomas, Ernie Figueri, and Howard Taubenfeld, to name a few. And when I really needed it, Ms. Jury was there to give me a little encouragement and help. I got lucky. I did make the law review, and when I graduated, I landed a job with Chief Justice Joe R. Greenhill in Austin. Life was looking up. There are parts of several notable groups tonight that made it possible to reach this award, because it's really been a team effort. Any success we've had has come as a result of multiple people. I certainly didn't do it alone. It truly was a team effort. First, would either the members of our law school study group or rugby team, or both, who are here, please stand. There's a couple that didn't stand. They won't admit to it anymore. Second, it's notable that all of the 17 original shareholders in Matador were either lawyers, family, or friends from Amarillo. A few of them, of the original shareholders, are here tonight. Would you please stand? That's 36 years of trust, and as I said, if they had heard me speak that morning, they probably wouldn't have lasted that long. Third, with great lawyers and advisors who have made such a difference to us at critical times in Matador's history, like Jim Rolfe, Pat Long, Nina Cortell, but she had a conflict, and Prater Monty. Would you please stand? All right. Fourth, I would like to recognize all the Matador staffers, advisors, directors, and shareholders who are here tonight. They're the ones who have really made it happen and made Matador what it is today, a company started by 4 sweaty handball players, 3 of whom were lawyers, that end up on the New York Stock Exchange. Where else in the world could that have happened but here? And it was at the old downtown Y, and we were plenty sweaty, and it was a triumph of optimism over experience. My second and final story is my favorite. Well, you didn't stand. All the shareholders, please stand. My second and final story is my favorite story. One of my friends urged me not to get too serious or sincere in telling this story, but I feel I must take that chance in order to properly recognize my bride, my wife, and my partner for 39 years, Nancy. Nancy has given me great support, joy, and friendship, as well as 5 exceptional children, 3 of whom are here tonight, Laura, Shelley, and Mary. She is the kindest and most loyal and most thoughtful person I know. We've been married 39 years, which means at least one of us is easy to get along with. I will let you decide, but Nancy, will you please stand? For 3 out of the first 5 years of Matador, Nancy and I made $0. Nancy was kind enough and thoughtful enough in that period not to ask too many questions. Thank goodness. Finally, I ask all of you to pray for our servicemen and women overseas. We pray that all these young men and women will return to this country. They're in service in various foreign countries safely with their mission complete to a country where the rule of law is respected by all. Thanks again for such a special night with so many special memories. Thank you.
Passionate, a game changer, an incredibly creative lawyer, and a highly effective storyteller. That's how Mike Lynn's clients describe him. Lynn is chairman of Lynn, Pinker, Cox & Hurst, one of the smallest and youngest commercial litigation boutiques in the United States. With about 40 lawyers, his firm has consistently ranked as one of the top 5 such firms in Texas by the prestigious Chambers & Partners, as well as one of the top 10 such firms in the U.S. by Benchmark. Born in Buffalo, New York, and raised in Arlington, Lynn is one of 4 siblings and son of Dorothea and Robert Lynn. He received his undergraduate degree in economics from the University of Virginia and his JD from the SMU Dedman School of Law in 1975. He feels like the discipline and rigor of the law school, along with his involvement in moot court and law review, helped him sharpen his ability to analyze issues and think creatively. But Mike's greatest law school accomplishment was winning over his now wife, SMU law alumna and chief judge of the Northern District of Texas, Barbara Lynn. The two spent many hours sitting across the table from each other in the Underwood Law Library, and now they have 2 daughters, Tara and Whitney, and 2 granddaughters. Lynn has brought to verdict 120 jury trials, and since 2014 has won over $1 billion in verdicts, including the largest verdict ever reported in Dallas. He also won the largest verdict in 2016 in Reeves County and settled one of the largest trade secret claims in Dallas history. On the defense side, Lynn defeated over $1 billion of claims, while twice being recognized as having secured the Defense Win of the Year in the U.S., according to the National Law Journal. As a result of his unprecedented victories, he was recognized by the Dallas Business Journal as Defense Lawyer of the Year. Lynn has also been recognized in many industry publications as one of the top trial lawyers in the country, and Chambers & Partners quotes admirers identifying him as a ferocious litigator and one of few recognized as Band 1 in the nation. But Mike Lynn is not all business, and recently hiked 700 miles of the Appalachian Trail, and return to the trail in March to join us this evening from somewhere between Damascus and Harpers Ferry, Virginia. For his remarkable achievements in and out of the courtroom, SMU Dedman School of Law is proud to recognize Michael P. Lynn with the 2019 Distinguished Alumni Award for Private Practice.
Well, I'm not sure whether I can follow Joe and the humor that Joe has given us, but let me greet you from coming back from somewhere between Damascus and Harpers Ferry. The problem is I came back slightly early and I busted an arm this time when I was out on the trail. I broke it somewhere called the Virginia Highlands. I fell, I broke my arm. It took me over 3 hours to hike out, and I am delighted to actually be here. As usual, my wife got this award 2 decades before I got this award. But one of the things that I've learned both hiking the Appalachian Trail and all of the struggles that are entailed in that, it is encapsulated within the admonition, hike your own hike. Those who've read anything about that know that that is one of the phrases, one of the admonitions that we all learn about as we hike that hike. And I feel as if the hiking of the Appalachian Trail and the practice of law have a lot in common. And Barb and I believe, since graduation, if not before, have both hiked our own hike. And that means many things to many people, but to me it means, and of course that's why I'm 2 decades late, to go slow, to enjoy the journey. I do not, however, think that anybody that is here got here on their own. SMU, of course, I owe a great debt of gratitude to for the credit of giving me the opportunity to test the limits of my ability, including months of tedious law review, site checking on all of the different statutes and cases and so forth in the law review, which seemed way too much time to devote to that. But it taught me grace and patience. And then, of course, there was moot and mock court rehearsal with Jim McElhaney, which was anything but fun. Each step forward was accompanied by major deconstruction of my speaking style and my personality, humbling me each time that we met. All in retrospect was totally necessary and was all very hard to take. Dedman gave me the chance to complete and grow in ways that I did not completely understand or acknowledge at the time, but today it seems absolutely miraculous what they wrought. Through it all, Barb persevered during our first years of marriage and thereafter. We lived in a very, very small apartment. In fact, when we rolled out the bed at night to go to sleep, there was no room to walk in the bedroom. I was 23 when we got married. Barb was 20. I remember that my major reason for succeeding at all in law school was watching Barb study at the eastern side of the library on the second floor. There I sat across from Barb and hopelessly tried to distract her from reading cases, and I would throw missiles her way at various times during the day. We spent literally hours together, and as time wore on, I learned to study, and Barb learned to duck the missiles. I'd also like to thank my mom and dad, who both paid for all of this and who supported me throughout it. And what's more, they basically gave me a turkey or ham during finals each time that final period came up. That is the reason that Barb and I didn't starve to death in law school. Then there are my colleagues and friends since graduation. There's Mike Lowenberg, who's sitting at the table down here, who has some funny but absolutely humiliating tales of teaching me how to try cases, as well as Jack Hauer and Jim Coleman, who became mentors and saw something in me I did not see and encouraged me at our lunches together to go on and try cases and to form a law firm. All of these mentors taught me that trials were about the dreams and sins of humans. They taught me the more I understood humanity and myself, the better I would do talking to jurors and winning them back. And then there were the clients who put their trust in me and in my colleagues and worked with me to grow our firm from success to success. I treasure their trust and will never let them down. I've always surrounded myself with people I care about and who cared about me. And that was the secret sauce of surviving what I actually believe is the brutality of some of the competitiveness that now is engaged in our profession. All I had to do at the end of the day, and I knew this, was crawl home, and I knew that I would find support and love from Barb and later my daughters, but also my partners and colleagues at the firm. So now, according to SMU, I'm distinguished. And I've looked up distinguished. It means that I'm respected, and I understand that I am to convey some pearls of wisdom at this point because I'm so respected. And then I'm supposed to sit down very quickly and finish. I offer only 3 points of wisdom to consider in becoming a first-rate trial lawyer. It is a journey that surely begins at Dedman but continues long after that. The first step in the journey is to be very good at the game. To work at it, to learn it, takes about 15 years to get there. And according to my wife, I'm still, I think, at stage 1. The next 15 years you spend learning the business of litigation, why it occurs and what the clients need or may want and how that may differ from their actual needs. There are no shortcuts in the journey. In the last 15 years, and this is the most important, you learn that litigation is about people and their dreams and their shortcomings and their love and their losses and their virtues and even their sins. I believe you cannot become a true trial lawyer until you take all 3 journeys. What separates a truly great trial lawyer from others is they have the grit to go through the journeys. So my wisest advice is don't take any shortcuts. Hike your own hike. Go up every mountain. Go down every valley. And in the end, I think this noble profession, which began at Dedman, will be safeguarded by you, because the only reason we have any right in a contract or a right in the Constitution is because a trial lawyer took the long journey and knows how to protect our rights through telling a compelling story, a compelling tale about right and about wrong. So hike your own hike, my friends, but don't break your arm.
Irma Ramirez was born in West Texas to parents Feliciano, an immigrant, and Helen Carrillo. Both instilled in her and her 2 sisters the importance of hard work, putting forth best efforts, and the value of education to achieve their goals. In high school, Ramirez discovered her love of intellectual debate, which sparked her determination to become a lawyer. She earned her BA from West Texas State University. Ramirez received a full scholarship to attend SMU Law, where she was a Sarah T. Hughes Diversity Fellow. While at SMU, she was selected to the Order of Barristers, received the International Academy of Trial Lawyers Award, the Orgain Bell and Tucker Trial Advocacy Award, and the Dean's Award for extraordinary and dedicated service to the law school. Receiving her law degree in 1991, Ramirez joined Locke, Purnell, Rain, Harrell. In 1995, she joined the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas, where she served in both the civil and criminal divisions. In 2002, Ramirez was appointed as magistrate judge in the Northern District. During her time on the bench, Judge Ramirez has enjoyed significant achievements, including the creation of the Northern District of Texas Federal Reentry Court in 2008 to reduce recidivism among moderate to high-risk formerly incarcerated persons serving a post-conviction term of supervised release. She also helped create the pro bono civil panel so that persons with potentially meritorious civil cases who cannot afford counsel may be appointed a volunteer attorney, while at the same time providing litigation opportunities for young lawyers. Judge Ramirez has hosted dozens of student groups from many different schools in her courtroom and developed an exercise called U.S. versus Grandpa Bandit to teach them about her role in the criminal justice system and to help them visualize themselves as lawyers and judges. Her successes on the bench led President Obama to nominate Judge Ramirez for a position as U.S. District Judge. Known for lighting the path to the legal profession, the Dallas Hispanic Bar Association recognized Judge Ramirez with its La Luz Achievement Award. Judge Ramirez also received a Federal Executive Board Public Service Award and the Dallas Association of Young Lawyers Outstanding Mentor Award. A devoted supporter of the law school, Judge Ramirez regularly organizes lunch visits with the student members of the Hispanic Law School Association, and she consistently hires and mentors Dedman Law students. She has coached the law school's mock trial teams and is also a member of the executive board. Judge Ramirez has been married to her husband Adam for more than 33 years, and her life and career are a testament to the American ideal of hard work and tenacity. SMU Dedman School of Law is proud to recognize the Honorable Irma C. Ramirez with the 2019 Distinguished Alumni Award for Judicial Service.
There is no greater challenge and there is no greater honor than to be in public service. These are the words of Condoleezza Rice, and I couldn't agree more. There is no doubt in my mind that I would not have the honor of public service if it were not for my law school, for the foundation that it provided, both in the classroom and based on its bond to the Dallas legal community. It was the partnership between the law school and the Dallas Bar Foundation that provided the scholarship that allowed me to attend this magnificent institution. To have my judicial service deemed worthy of recognition is beyond humbling, especially when I think about the people who have received this award before me. And in particular, two that I am privileged to serve alongside. Judge Jane Boyle, whom I deeply admired as an attorney appearing in her court, for her example of service, for being such a wonderful mentor, and for being such a giving person. And of course, there's the incomparable Chief Judge Barbara Lynn, who has broken down so many barriers and continues to do so, and her inexhaustible energy and service amaze, inspire, and terrorize me. If you've ever worked with her and you've come in the morning and found a voicemail from her at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To be listed as a recipient with both of these esteemed jurists is just unbelievable to me. And for this incredible honor, I want to thank my law school, SMU Dedman School of Law, the dean, the selection board, the Mustang Bar Law Alumni Association. I also want to thank my professors, Professor Eads, Professor Rogers, who's here, and he was Dean Rogers to me, and Professor Armour. I'd like to thank all of the amazing attorneys that I've had the privilege of working with at the law firm and the firms that I clerked at. the dedicated public servants at the U.S. Attorney's Office, from whom I learned so much, and of course, the other judges of the court, whose dedication and service just amazed me every day. You know, Judge Fitzwater's here. He's covering 2 divisions, even though he's technically on senior status. How's that for retirement? You can see that the bar of service has been set very, very high. I'd like to thank my friends. One of my friends from my first year of law school is here, and she honors me with her presence, Vicki Blanton. My parents, of course, and my husband, who's been with me every step of my law journey, and without whose support I wouldn't be here. I want to take a moment of privilege and to recognize I have a couple of law clerks here, and I have several interns and externs. You may have seen them manning the tables. They are here today, even though it's only a couple of weeks from finals, guys. And it is such an honor for them to be here. Your passion and your enthusiasm amaze me, inspire me, and they give me hope. As you get ready to take up the mantle, remember the words of Cheryl Espin. Service doesn't have to be big or grandiose to be meaningful and to make a difference. Go forth and make us proud, make your school proud. Thank you again for this honor.
Kelly Rentzel, an industry leader widely known for her legal prowess, currently serves as General Counsel of Texas Capital Bank, a publicly traded company with over 1,600 employees. While she is well respected in the legal field, her greatest contribution to the public has been as an advocate for mental health. As a senior at Rice University, Rentzel experienced a major manic episode, which required a 1-month hospitalization and resulted in a diagnosis of bipolar I disorder. Although forced to withdraw from all her first semester courses, she returned the second semester and fought through to graduate from Rice on time with a double major and with honors. While continuing to manage her disorder, she attended SMU Dedman School of Law as a Hutchinson Scholar. There, she excelled as a student leader on the SMU Law Review, won the Best Brief Award, and was a spirited classmate as the catcher for the Law Dogs Championship softball team. She graduated with honors and joined the international firm of Baker Botts, and later the litigation boutique of Sales Werbner. From there, Rentzel served as a staff attorney at the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas before joining Texas Capital Bank in 2012. During her tenure at the courthouse, Rentzel became pregnant, which required her to suspend the use of her bipolar medication. After the birth of her daughter, her disorder caused her postpartum depression to become medication resistant, failing to resolve and ultimately leading to a suicide attempt. Through electroconvulsive therapy, medication, counseling, and sheer grit, Rentzel has rebuilt her life and become an outspoken advocate for others suffering with mental illness. In her time outside the bank, she constantly shares her story nationwide, spreading awareness and giving hope to others suffering debilitating mental illnesses through her writings, website, and speaking engagements, including a TEDx talk at SMU in November 2018. In recognition of her candid and courageous efforts to help others, she received a 2018 Dallas Bar Association Presidential Citation and the 2018 Outstanding Public Service and Pro Bono Award from the Association of Corporate Counsel. Rentzel's rock and inspiration is her 9-year-old daughter, Katie, who thinks Mom is pretty boring, but never hesitates to subpoena her when there is due cause. For her bravery to do so much good in the face of extreme adversity, SMU Dedman School of Law is proud to recognize Kelly Rentzel with the 2019 Distinguished Alumni Award for Public Service.
I do want to talk about Katie for a minute, because this award is more to me than just an award. It's really encouragement to keep doing and keep going with what I've been doing in the past, which is speaking about mental illness and showing people that there's a way out and that there's hope, even if you're diagnosed with one. And just to share with you how encouraging a 9-year-old can be, there was one night when I really wasn't sure what I was doing. I thought, no one really needs to hear me speak anymore. This is a tough story to tell, and maybe I should just quit. And my daughter, Katie, who's right over there, ready with her wave, she gave me her journal, and she said, "Mom, I want you to list here all the people who support you." And I did, and many of them are represented at tables 6, 7, and 8. My friends, my family, mentor, and I really, really want to thank the bank where I work, because instead of shunning me or telling me that I needed to stay quiet, the bank embraced me and gave me even more courage to move on and promote what I like to advocate. And that started at the very top, and I'd like to thank my CEO, Keith Cargill, for being such an open mind and such a leader of the future that he was just unflinching in his support of me. It's really surreal for me to be here, because I grew up with the Pony Express and going to all the games, and Craig James was my first crush, and so he's still not off the list, actually. But I just want to thank you all for being here. It's a really special night for me, and I just hope you feel the love tonight.
We could not be prouder of these extraordinary lawyers and leaders. Will you join me in one last round of applause for our distinguished Alumni Award winners? On behalf of the entire faculty and staff at SMU Dedman School of Law, I commend and congratulate these world changers for their important work and outstanding achievements. You make our community and our profession better every day. Thank you to our audience for joining us tonight. We are so grateful for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening.